What up, comic book fam? Happy new comic book day, October 27th, 2021. I went 3 books over my 10 book limit, but I'm doing okay on that. Let's jump right into it. Starting with DC as usual, we've got Robin number 7 continuing this Mortal Kombat tournament. I am enjoying this story from Joshua Williamson, and it's given me hope that I might stick on with Batman after James Tynion leaves here with 117. So looking forward to jumping in on number 7. Moving on to Marvel Comics, we've got Moon Knight number 4, and I am enjoying this series. This one was a bit of a sleeper for me, but I love the Moon Knight character, and I'm loving how he's being written in this one. We have Tigra showing up, and it turns Moon Knight from this kind of robot character into an actual human being, so that was dope. We also had some throwbacks to when Moon Knight joined the Avengers. West Coast, though. I thought that was pretty funny. As a West Coast Avengers fan, I thought that was a cool throwback. I do have 2 copies of Avengers West Coast 21 when Moon Knight became an Avenger West Coast, though. So I thought that was a dope throwback, and I really enjoyed this issue. Cannot wait to see what happens in number 5. Loving me some Moon Knight. Next up from Marvel, we've got Daredevil 35. I have been loving the art in this one, and the story has finally kicked up with Electroverse Bullseye, and you've got the Daredevil taking on the warden in the prison. So things are finally getting interesting. Looking forward to jumping in and reading this one. I love these Marco Cicchetto covers. I love the way he draws Elektra. Next up, we've got The Amazing Spider-Man number 77. We've got Kelly Thompson writing this issue. Arthur Adams back on the A cover. I went with that one again. I have been backlogging ASM, so I can't tell you how the new run is going, but I do plan to read it here soon. Moving on to Boom Studios, we've got The House of Slaughter number 1. I have been looking forward to this, as many of you have, for a long time. I love Something is Killing the Children. I love James Tynion, and this is my favorite story going on right now in comics. So I have read this one and I enjoyed the start to it. We meet Jace Boucher, a new cool looking dude with some weird looking eyes. Not sure what his motivations are, what he's about, but we do get a little preview of the future at the end of this one, a little foreshadowing. More than foreshadowing, they should have tell you what happens, but looking forward to seeing how it goes down. Loving this one. And I went with that shiny foil cover, but I did overdo it. So this isn't the one that I cheated on. It only counted as 1 on my 10 book limit. But the truth be told, I did order a ton of covers. I ordered the 1 in 50 pack from Bry's Comics. So that comes with a 1 in 50 incentive in addition to a bunch of the other books. So looking forward to getting that one in. I also ordered the Gerald Perel from Norse Comics. I really enjoyed that Jessica on the cover. I like Jessica Slaughter quite a bit. So I went ahead and grabbed that one. I grabbed the Miko Swayan cover from Big Time Collectibles. I couldn't resist him sitting in that tree looking dope as hell. So that was yet another one that I bought. And then I went to the Ji-Hyun Lee store, web store, and I bought both the Virgin and the trade of his variant of this one because I couldn't resist it. So while I only bought 13 books in the store, I did cheat. I went ham online buying those. I also ordered another 1 in 50 from Things from Another World. So I do have 2 1 in 50s coming to me. Love that nice House on the Lake homage, and I'm a sucker for anything House of Slaughter. So I'm all in like Flynn, y'all, loving it. So, but I'm sticking to that 13 number. All those don't count. That was online. Still with Boom Studios, we've got Dark Blood number 4. This has been interesting enough for me to stick in with it. It's kind of been in my wheelhouse, so we'll see how we go with number 4. Moving on to Dark Horse Comics, we've got Black Hammer Reborn from Jeff Lemire. I have been happy that I've jumped in on this universe. I'm interested in this story about this mom who hung up the hammer and has been called back to bring the hammer. So looking forward to number 5. Next up from Image Comics, we've got The Good Asian number 6. I have been enjoying this kind of 20s noir story from this one. And it's been interesting enough, so I'm sticking in with number 6 on that one. Next up with Image Comics, we've got Spawn 323. This is the Bjorn Barons A cover. I'm always buying Spawn, always buying at least two covers of Spawn every time that it comes out, because I'm supporting the Todd father, and I just love it. I love having a box of Spawn, so I'm down for that. I bought the B cover as well as usual to grab that Todd McFarlane B cover. I liked it. I also loved that C cover from Bjorn Barons with the trick-or-treaters on it, but I messed up. I thought I ordered that one from Things from Another World, but apparently I missed out on that, and it wasn't in my shop today, so I'm gonna have to maybe find that later, or maybe I just missed out on that one. Oh well. Still with Image Comics, we've got Vinyl number 5, and this was kind of the end of the first arc, it seems, and I thought it came together quite nicely. I've really been enjoying the art in this book, and the story has been like way out there, really confusing. And it's still pretty confusing, but I really like the way this last issue here tied everything together. So if you're into creepy, horror, serial killer kind of stuff, then I would highly recommend this book. Looking forward to where this one's gonna go next. Next up from Image Comics, still we've got Time Before Time number 6. Now this is not one that I would say, hey, all y'all, you gotta grab this one. But I'm enjoying it enough to stick around with it. I read this one and I was a little bit lost. Our main character that we've been following wasn't in it at all, and I was kind of confused about who we were following. So I may have to go back and reread some things, but this has a Looper feel to it, the movie with Bruce Willis. So if you liked that movie, you might like this book. I'm liking it enough to stick around for number 6 and then on to number 7. Still with Image Comics, we've got Primordial number 2, and I somehow missed that this was coming out this week. It wasn't on my list for that reason. I didn't see it anywhere. Maybe I just overlooked it, but I did see it in the shop, and I'm glad that I did, so I picked it up and added it to the batch. This is another Jeff Lemire book that I've really been enjoying. I like his style. I like his writing. And you don't get a whole lot of answers in this one, but it does advance the story a little bit further. You get to know a little bit more about this dog in space and their experience. And yeah, confusing, but looking forward to number 3. This might be a little sleeper one that's building up. And then last but not least, still with Image Comics, we've got Made in Korea number 5. This was another interesting read. We have this guy working for this company who created this AI while working for this company in a way that it was their property. And a way to get around it, he sends this prototype of his AI out and then tries to get it back himself. But then he ends up losing it again in this one. So I didn't pick this up initially because it was a story about AI. You know, I'm not exactly interested in AI stories. Are they human and whatnot? You know, you kind of seen that a few times. I didn't see that Joaquin Phoenix movie for that reason. Maybe I should, I don't know. But I passed on this one because I just wasn't interested in that story. But when I saw the reviews on the YouTube community, the comic book community, I saw that maybe it was a little bit more than that, and they convinced me to jump in on it. And I'm glad that I did, because it does seem to be a little bit more than that. And I'm looking forward to this next one from Jeremy Holt. I like this guy's style. All right, as usual, let me know, what was your read of the week? What was your cover of the week? For me, number 1, you gotta know it's House of Slaughter. Went ham on the variants for that one because I love it so much, and I really did enjoy the story, and I'm excited for what's next. So no question about it, that's my number 1 read of the week. But what was yours? You probably have a better one. As far as cover of the week, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna go with one that I ordered online, and that's gonna be the Ji Hyung Lee web store variant of House of Slaughter number 1. I love Jessica Slaughter, and I love how that cover looks. So picking that one for cover of the week, even though I don't have it in hand yet. But you probably have a better cover of the week. Let me know down below, what was your cover of the week? But that's all I got for you this time. Thank you as always for coming through. I do appreciate you. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hook me up with that honor. I appreciate it. Until next time, peace, comic book fam.